How is everybody this evening? Ooh, this topic, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack. With that said, welcome to On the Block with Jen Live. Okay, not to be confused with On the Block with Jen One on One or Sisterhood Sips on Sundays, okay? On the Block with Jen Live is still going on and popping all week long, where you can catch us live and talk to us in real time. However, Sunday and Monday, we have pre-recorded shows. Sundays, Sisterhood Sips Sundays. Lily and I are setting YouTube ablaze, honey, ablaze. People are imploding with our 1-minute shorts, okay? Everybody calm down. Everybody relax. Relájate. Relájate. And then I have Mondays one-on-one, where it's just me talking, right? Or an interview. You guys know, I'm going to keep saying it. I got an exclusive with Big Daddy Kane coming up to celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip hop. That's coming very, very soon. I think I'm going to drop it around the time that the Grammys spins the actual show that's coming December 10th. So it's going to be right around that time. So look out for it. You have to follow us on Instagram to keep up, because we're doing more traveling now. We're doing more shows now. So the ladies and gents are busy. So make sure you keep up with us on social media. What's up, team? How are you guys feeling tonight?
Are we going to go live together for them this weekend? Because we're going to be together this weekend.
I think we should. We must.
Yeah.
We must. We must be live. Are we going to our favorite pizza place?
We might as well make it a tradition, right?
Ooh, Lily and I can eat some pizza, honey. 4 slices, right, Lily?
Look, don't let the size fool you, okay? Two bottomless pits, so.
Okay, we could do some pizza. No Saint, how are you feeling? Haran is late. He's on Jamaican time. I can't even say color people time, because I think Jamaican time is different.
It's different.
Yeah. No, everything's going good. I just want to remind everyone on the stream that is watching or on replay that not only will she be dropping her one-on-one on Mondays, we will also be going live on Mondays as well. So you get a 2-for-1 special on Mondays.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. 2-for-1 special. Thank you for reminding me, No Saint. All right, guys, I see you two press, Maroon Planet. How are you? Front Street with Liberty. That's a name. How are you, sir? Okay, so tonight is spicy, super spicy. We haven't gotten spicy on the block in a while. I said we bring out some hot sauce tonight, right? We haven't gotten spicy. There's a lot going on in los redes, right? That's Spanish for social media. It seems to be every day, guess who's gay today, right? There's a lot of that going on. So past couple days, we found out Will Smith is gay, allegedly. Usher is gay, allegedly. One of Kiki Wyatt's sons is gay. He's out, so that's not allegedly. So there's a lot of, guess who's gay today? It's almost like a fucking game show at this point, right? I don't know what the obsession is. You guys know how I feel about that, but for some reason, buttholes are a big thing. Okay, buttholes are a big thing. Buttholes that aren't yours are also a big thing. I only thought your butthole had to be important. Apparently everybody says it's a group sport. Okay, buttholes have become a group sport in America, and we really want to know who's gay and who isn't. So let me fill you in before I pass the mic.
Honestly, Jen, I think more people are obsessed with gay people's butts than gay people are obsessed with butts.
I believe you. I completely and utterly believe you. So yesterday we touched on an interview that's going on Tasha K's channel. Ooh, that lady likes living dangerously, honey. She likes living dangerously. Yesterday we briefed you and we said we would keep up with it. Tasha K interviewed a man that worked with the Smiths, Jada and Will. And he's revealing or exposing Will, saying that he walked in on him and Dwayne Martin allegedly, getting their groove on. In a dressing room. So we got that. And then we had Jada today make a statement. She said, we're suing. So they are suing. So I'm wondering if they're going to send a cease and desist to Tasha K, because if they're suing, I would think that they can stop that interview from happening. I think the Smiths have that type of power where they could pause that interview, right? I'm guessing. I'm thinking.
I've seen it happen. I've actually seen it happen. No, of course it wasn't her, because she lived dangerous. That's why she owes $4 million right now. But I've seen it happen. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I'm thinking, had she been smart, She should have dropped the whole interview. That's not, if you're going to go up against the Smiths, and power is power, right? Whether we like people or not, we know who has power and who doesn't. It's just life. Some people got power, some people don't. Some people have a little power, some people have a lot of power, but power exists, especially in this country. So people will wield it as people do when they have power, even a little bit of power. So I would think if she was smart, she should have just dropped the whole interview. Teasing a trailer, in my opinion, was a big mistake if she was trying to, you know what I mean, get viewership for that interview. I don't think that's an interview that she should have teased a trailer with, because again, they said they're suing. Got a feeling the Smiths have better attorneys than Tasha K, but I'm just guessing. I could.
Oh no, you don't have to guess, because that attorney that he did a horrible job.
Okay, so maybe Tasha K got money somewhere that we don't know about, but Jada Pinkett Smith said her words out of her mouth, we are suing. So I don't know if they're suing the collective, Tasha K, the podcast, the guy that's, exposing I don't know if it's just suing him. She said we're suing, but Tasha K's name, of course, is going to be in the documents because that is where the interview happened. So good luck to Miss Tasha K. This girl, it's safer to bungee jump. It's safer to freaking skydive. This woman just keeps, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe she's an adrenaline junkie. I don't know, but good luck to her. And that's that. So moving on to who else is gay. As you guys know, Kiki Palmer, it's a gay week. As you guys know, Kiki Palmer and her baby daddy, because it's not her husband or her boyfriend, have a very tumultuous breakup going on social media. Well, come to find out, Darius Jackson, the baby daddy, recorded Kiki Palmer's mother going ham on him. And when I tell you everybody caught strays, I mean, there was shrapnel everywhere. This woman was just dissecting and dicing this baby daddy. Kiki Palmer's mother was, and she was like, she threw in Asians, she threw in Mexicans, she threw in immigrants, she threw in, I mean, mentally ill people, cursing.
She was talking about those things too.
What did she say?
I don't know. She said something about those things too, I think.
I mean, she said, get you an immigrant or some Asian bitch that's going to listen to you. And within that whole rant, she said, first of all, Usher is gay. So you stupid. Like, he's gay. So you worried about Kiki dancing up on him, and Usher's gay. Welcome to the business. Blah, blah. So she's complete, and she was being recorded the entire time, unbeknownst to her. Okay. So this is a very gay week. Lily, do you want to come out the closet? Anything you want to tell us?
No, I'm actually going back in for this week.
Okay. All right. I know it's scary out here. I want you guys to assure you I am not a lesbian. I tried it once. Wasn't for me, but I'm staying where I am. Okay. No say anything you want to tell us this week, please. Now is the week to do it.
Amnesty week. Amnesty.
I can't really. I don't know. I've never tried.
You got a few more days to try it and get it out the system. Okay.
So, who knows?
Who knows? Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, he said he tried it. It wasn't for him. You know what I mean? And then he moved on with his life. But this is the week to come out if you're going to come out. Apparently, everybody's gay this week. So I don't know if Usher's going to respond to that. I don't know if Usher's people are going to respond to that. I wouldn't respond. These things cycle. Usually they cycle out in 24 hours. But she was very adamant that Usher was gay, and it was stupid for Kiki Palmer's baby daddy to be worried about an Usher because Usher is gay. He fucks men. So do what you want with that information. Her words, not mine. I think a lot of people in the industry are bisexual or running around with beards. That's just how it is, right? That's just how it is. But they have to keep certain image. Hollywood has been doing that since the beginning of time. When you think about Rock Hudson, and since way, way back, people have been coupling up to make it look like. Lori Harvey made a living out of attaching herself to guys and making it look like they're running around with her. It's a mess this week. It is a mess. Okay. With that said, what do you guys think about that before we move on?
Listening to it, it's funny because I'm gonna tell you how I heard it. I've said this on the show several times. Once you get lit into the industry, once they let you in the whip, right? You look around and you're like, oh shit. You start seeing the circus from inside, and you see the open secrets, right? Like things that you'd be like, they're just out in the open. Everybody's just out in the open, but this isn't out in the open, but they're out in the open here. It's a mind fuck when you first get in, but then after a while, you're just like, okay, yeah, whatever, right? What that gave me, because she didn't know she was being recorded, it was very matter of fact. It was just matter of fact. Her daughter's been in the industry forever. Her daughter's a child star, now adult celebrity or whatever. So she's been around for a long time. She's seen it. Once you're in it for a long time, you become desensitized. You're just like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so
Fun fact, Lily. My daughter auditioned for Aquila and the Bee. She's little. Okay. And at that time, the person who was cast wasn't Lawrence Fishburne. It was Louis Gossett Jr. when my daughter auditioned.
wow.
Fun fact, but continue.
That could have went either way with Louis,
Yeah.
but you know what? I'm kind of glad your daughter didn't get it because I don't like children being in the industry. I just don't. It's just
Well, that's why I took her out. She started, she hated the, and I wasn't a stage mom, so I wasn't going to press. She hated the audition process. Like I tried at the beginning, like, let's go get McDonald's. And that worked a couple of auditions. She booked some covers with BT. She booked the SpongeBob SquarePants commercial. But then she hated the process of audition. It just wasn't for her. And I was like, baby, if you don't want to do it, we won't do it. And we just never went back.
yeah, the last young lady I mentored.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. It's really not. And I mentored a very famous person's niece. She actually asked me to do it, right? And it was wonderful. But then the one day, and the little girl, she was 9 when I started mentoring in the modeling world. And then by the time she turned 11, she came to me one day and said, I don't want to do this anymore. And I said, great. I said, I'm just curious what the reason is because I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm just curious. And she said, it makes me feel too much like a grown up, the auditioning process. It's strenuous. It is strenuous. It is hard for us.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a lot that people don't see. And even here on the show, right? Me, you, and Haran, we've been in the industry for a long time. We know a lot of things, but we only discuss the stuff that's out in the open. We don't make a business of exposing people or nothing like that. Like I don't get off on that. I don't get off on any of that.
Right.
So we only keep it to what's already being discussed in the algorithm. Like, okay, we talking about it now. Okay, because a lot of this stuff we already knew. But okay.
Right. And then the deeper, I mean, I'm still learning things. Never meet your heroes is an understatement. Okay, like the more people I meet in this business, the deeper I go. Like you said, Lily, when you're in the whip, it's like, who is what? When? What? Why? How do you know that? That's impossible. Oh, don't ruin it for me. I used to watch that show all the time, right? So it's all kinds of things that we're just finding out that are just like, wow. And it's not, again, it doesn't come from a place of it's like, oh, but it's just like, I didn't picture that because you have an image of somebody. It's the same thing like if it happened in your family. You'd be like, hold up, I've known you my whole life. And we think we have this sort of kinship with artists, but we don't. They're just on our TVs and on our radios. We don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on. There's gonna be some. You can hear all the noise in the background, but I was going to say, like, it's really interesting. Like, it's more the straight people that get surprised about all these things, right? And it reminds me like when I was 18, 19 years old, and my friend Michael, who was a sportscaster, he's about 4 years, maybe 5 years older. He was gay, and all of a sudden I would find he would tell me like what, he wasn't outing anybody, but he would just in jest, he would just, he would just mention, oh yeah, well that player's gay, and I was like, what? because in my mind you're like, it just doesn't fit the, that guy, because we have stereotypical, the way we think about people. And so but people like I'm saying with Lily, she's not surprised at any of this. It's really the straight people that are always surprised, because there are a lot of people that put on, because of the society we live in, they put on a beard, or they put on they make us think that they're one way. So when you find out, like you're saying, Jen, when you find out, no, that's not. It's a shock to the system, but
And
it
growing up,
is.
I mean, growing up where we grew up, like we had like friends and relatives who were like gay for a year or two, right? And then they went back to the other gender and back to that. So it's not a foreign concept, but television media, they have the knack for making people look perfect, right? And that is what they do. They literally paid to look perfect. And then when you meet them, and I've met many, some more this year, and the conversations I hear would blow your mind, right? The average person, no. And like Lily said, we've known a lot about a lot of these people for a long time. So when we see it hit the press, we're like, well, I remember we knew that. It's that type of thing. Honestly, there are a couple of people I'm waiting.
I was just about to say, there's some I'm like, I feel
But
like,
I'm waiting to be exposed, and I'm
but
gonna be like,
I have a question. I do have a question because I'm
mhm.
thinking that this is much more of a hidden thing, race bell in the black community today. Because when I'm thinking back, it was like, back in the, say, the 70s and 80s or whatever, it was like, oh my God, like, what's his name? Not Greg Brady, the dad, the Brady Bunch
yeah,
dad. Oh my God, oh my God. But now it's
Mhm.
like actors are coming out all the time and it doesn't hinder them. If maybe it does, I don't know, but I'm assuming it doesn't but I'm thinking like Usher, and also who are they playing to? Who's their crowds? Do they have to keep that because, it's not, in general, black people are much more conservative as a group. So I'm wondering if that's why it's lagging behind a little bit from like the white people that are able to come out and say they're gay. I don't know.
but, well, no, you're right on the money because black and brown people are inherently homophobic. We are raised to be homophobic. Some of us reject it, just like we don't reject anything else. We might reject the fact that they want us to eat our vegetables, right? But you know, the majority of us get brainwashed by this small, tiny box that every human is supposed to fit into. How we get tricked into that, I don't know. But it's just so unrealistic and archaic at this point in 2023 to still harp on that and gasp at that and not understand that humans like sex, humans like to experiment, humans get curious, humans have fantasies. Then it's just so many different things, and then you add on a part with Hollywood access, options, money. Then you're dealing with a thing of um, familiarity breeds contempt. So you get tired of the same thing. Now you want to try something new, right? So it's a lot of that. That's just what it is. It's nothing sensational or it's just humans being
You know,
human.
what's
So
interesting, Lily? People say the infamous saying, "You're only as faithful as your options," right? A lot of people say there's a stigma that falls on men. Okay, I'm gonna throw y'all a little bone, gentlemen. There's a stigma that falls on men, right? Oh, when he gets on, he gonna leave your ass for a white girl, right? That's what Kanye said. And that goes on a lot, right? Oh, when you started, you was with that person, then you blew up and you went that with that person. I keep stressing that people are different in different situations. Okay, a broke person has a different mentality. If that broke person gets wealthy, that person is a completely different person. A sober person is a certain type of person. That person drunk is a whole different personality. Like, you know what I mean? Humans go through different things. So if you're only as faithful as your options, right? Then maybe you're only as straight as your options. Now you're in the industry. Now this person has that type of money. Now this person that you've admired for the past 10 years does this sexually. Now that person is fucking, I've never seen any, are you from Istanbul? I ain't never seen a woman that looks like you. This guy, he's a god. I've never seen that. So because we're naturally curious, right? That's how we are since we're babies. And then, like I say, adults happen and tell you what not to do, and what not to believe, and what not to say. But if you leave a human being alone, we're going to be curious forever. I don't even believe in the word midlife crisis. I don't believe in it. I believe
mm-hmm.
that you suppressed yourself to raise your children, to be a good husband, to be a good wife, right? And then that manifests into now they're adults. And then what happens? You go right the fuck back to who you are. It's not nothing new. People make it sound like it's midlife crisis. You changed. No, motherfucker. I'm going back to who I am, and innately who we are curious people. That is who we are. So we're not becoming a new person. We're going back to our origin.
I think you're right, and I think it's especially when it comes to sexuality, we are repressed as a society, and you get molded. And not to say that, like, I'm a straight guy or whatever, but I'll tell you what, through time and through years, I found out that there are a lot of things that I've seen that I was like, I didn't know that kind of turns me on. I mean, just new things like, whoa. And I'll analyze it in my head. Like, I that's interesting. I didn't know that was something in my head, So, I mean, I think it's very, to use a word, fluid, I guess, I mean, very evolving, maybe I should say. Things evolve. So, but yeah, I think you're right that if you don't have the societal constraints, we'd find out a lot more earlier for a lot more people that these kind of things are in their wheelhouse, but
a lot earlier. And you're right. Like, I've seen things and I'm like, oh, that's sexy. Right. So it depends on what you're exposed to. So it's again, I say you're only as straight, and I'm using the word straight as vanilla, right? You're only as straight as your options as well. That's why a lot of people wall out when they get in the industry or when they get money, and you have to be very, very grounded, because a lot of people get lost in it. Can't indulge, right? To the point, I mean, you can't even do that with sugar. Can't eat too much sugar. Like, and some people, they just really, really get lost in it. But we are very dynamic beings, right? So yeah, this is week gay. Maybe there should be a day we should mark the calendar.
Right, go and make it a yearly thing. Go ahead and make a tradition of it.
Yeah. Welcome everybody who's in the room. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Nice to see you. So we'll see again. We'll keep tabs on this Tasha K lawsuit scandal part 2 and the Smiths or whatever. Dwayne Martin supposedly is not going to respond to any accusations of him topping Will Smith. And that's his right, again, 24-hour cycle. However, because there's a lawsuit pending, we're going to be hearing more about this. This one isn't going to go away. So again, I say good luck to Tasha K. I would not want to be that woman right now. Woo!
I see, and
I 4,000 followers. Keep my little 4,000 subs, almost 5.
Like, she is like the epitome of that that saying about, and I'm really using this loosely when I say what the prophet. What is the man gain? What is the prophet? To gain the world and lose his soul. Like, she remember when it's like she hit that 1 million followers, and it's just like her life went into shambles after that. But the things that she did to get to that 1 million was so vile and disgusting and nasty. And so it's like all of that energy came right back. Like, it's just really an interesting case study to watch real time.
Right.
If you're literally watching this woman crumble, but still grasp and reach and grasp and not even humble as she's crumbled. Like she's like doubling down.
But you notice that it's not Tasha K specific. You notice all these big YouTubers are crumbling. We mentioned that yesterday too. They're all eating each other alive. They're all panicking. And like you said, Lily, they're not being humble. They're not like, you know what, my bad. It's so easy to say with that whole Cardi B situation. It was so easy to say, girl, my bad. I got other interviews going. I got other gossip going. My bad. I'll recant that you have herpes. She doubled down. She tripled down. You know what I mean? Cut off your nose to spite your face. And just like, it's a fire, and she went and threw oil on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like she threw gas on it. Like, yeah. I'm like, so you're going to follow up the Cardi B lawsuit and not having the money to pay for that with Will Smith is gay? That's where you're going? Are you crazy, Montana? Are you crazy, Montana? There's going to be a fucking war in the street. He's going to send a hit squad. Like, what are you doing? What are you
She's
doing?
a glut. She's a glut for pain. I think at this point, I think she has a kink. I think this is a
She
kink.
has to have a kink. She has to have a kink of fucking pain. And she's like, I want to make a lot of money. It'll turn me on if I make a lot of money and lose it all. That's what I want in my life.
Overnight. I mean, not just losing her money, like the husband now got to live overseas, and the child got to live overseas, and this and she got to hide money from here and get a Western Union card, because you can't get one of them bank accounts. You got to get one of them cards that you got to reload. You got to wait for, you got to reload down to the check cashing place. I think
Yeah.
that's the only.
I got a friend that does that all the time. I'm like, what the fuck is that card? What are you doing? My kids. I was like, what the fuck? All right, never mind.
Yeah, you know what? Good luck. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay, fine. I'm not even gonna ask you your credit score. Moving on.
Yeah.
What's up, Tyrone Church? Okay, so we can get into this topic. I think it's very interesting. Are Black people using Black people to build media empires? And let me brief you guys real quick because you may not be up to speed with who these people are, but I want to be very, very specific. Okay, when I say media empires, okay. We have Mona Scott Young in the middle. Okay. She is the CEO, the creator of What Love and Hip Hop. As you guys know, Love and Hip Hop grew so big. Now it's Love and Hip Hop LA, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop New York. So the woman is making lots of money. Then we have Shawnee O'Neal, okay, next to holding the pink basketball. Shawnee O'Neal is Shaq's ex-wife. She has the Basketball Wives franchises, okay, also making lots and lots of money. Then we have Lemuel Plummer. He's probably new to you guys, but he owns the Zeus Network. According to him, on an interview on the Breakfast Club, he said his company is about to be $1 billion net worth. That's a lot of money. I'd say that is an empire. Okay. $1 billion to me is an empire. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. Now, why them on this thumbnail for this subject? I just want to ask some questions tonight. Okay. Are Black people using Black people to build media empires? Those three people are very powerful people in the entertainment industry. They are moguls. Okay. They are moguls, right? However, their content is all ratchet. Okay. The worst of the worst that Black people can treat each other, Black and Latin. Okay. Because Erica Mena is big on Love and Hip Hop, and Evelyn Lozada is big on Basketball Wives. No matter how racist these Latinas get on the show, they always come back next season. Isn't that something? They always come back, right? And you do what you want with that information. Why they keep bringing back these racist Latinas on a predominantly Black show? Who's in charge? Who's doing that, right? So people talk about it all the time. Hey, Black people had slaves. Black people helped slavery. Black people sold other Black people into slavery. Is this a modern day? Is this a modern day Black people using other Black people for profit? Is it modern day? I'm going to pass the mic on that note. Chat, let me know what you think. If you're watching and you want to come on up. I will drop the link again. Let's get into this.
Oh, this one right here is a triggering conversation because it's one of those conversations that produces cognitive dissonance in the Black and Brown community, right? Like the evidence is right there in front of our face, and we will still say, no, it's not that, and then find some hairs to split to make a point of why it's not what it is, right? So this right here is a perfect example of why I roll my eyes at the scary white imaginary boogeyman that's coming to ruin everything for us all feel, like we a lot of us act like the KKK is standing outside of our door at all times, ready to pounce, and all of that stuff. It's like everything is because of the scary white man. And I'm like, yeah, but we have closer proximity to the scary Black man and woman, right? Like that's who is in our immediate circle. So that's who needs to be addressed first, like the cancer within the community, right? But no, 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 no. Let's not look at that. No, no, let's not. Don't talk about that. That's beyond reproach, And I'm a part of two communities that are beyond reproach. I'm a part of the Black community, and I'm a part of the queer community. And you're not allowed to talk about what you observed unless you observe good things. Okay, only tell us the good things you observe about us. All right. Um, and the reason, let me tell you why. Because we've been through a lot, you all. Been through a lot, and I think between those two communities, we win the oppression Olympics. What do I win? What, I don't know what I win. Oh, we win the right to not be talked about. So that's the problem. We should not be talking about this, you all. We should only focus on the white man is the reason why these black people are making these shows and hiring black people to look like this. That's what we should focus on because of slavery and redlining. That's what we need to focus on.
Liberal, what say you?
That was my liberal fan.
You're up. No, sir.
Man. So, the only thing I can say to this is that, yes, people are taking advantage. Okay. In this case, are these three people taking advantage of, the black community? Or in this case, are they, yeah, I mean, they are, but in any way, in any sense, I mean, junk sells. There's a certain base of people that are always going to watch Jerry Springer or Ricky Lake. It's really, I'm not saying it's easy, because if it was easy, I'd probably be out there trying to do it myself, but it's easier to get a crowd to watch something like that. Just like it's easier for like people to go see Barbie than the movie Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer was an awesome movie, but it's not for everybody. You got to be kind of, you know what I mean? They got to play to the base. So in that sense, I would say, yes, there is a sense of taking advantage of a community. But it's not to what Lili's saying. It's not, it shouldn't be where you can't criticize that. And also it really comes down to, it's everybody's choice whether they're going to put that in their home or not. So you have some people over here saying, well, why are they putting this up? Well, why are you watching it? You know what I mean? That's the way I always look at it. There's a real easy way to vote on these things, and it'd be turn it off. But people like that stuff. It's a lot. It's like saying, I don't want, if you want to bring back to sex, like Lili's story about the guy saying, I'm not into, when our culture's not into it, can I get your number? So, there I go.
Well, this is one of those situations, right? Chicken or the egg, right? Who's like the real problem? Is it the audience, or is it the producers that the Mona Scotts and the things like that?
I would say this. Listen, back in the 80s, and we keep on going back because that's when we grew up, a lot of us. Back in the 80s, or even before the 80s, and maybe New York was a little different because you were ahead of the curve when it came to getting certain things. But I know when I was growing up, you had 4 or 5 channels to watch before cable came along. And whatever you got, you got. And back then, you could have said, well, that's all they're putting on for us. Let's just say we're talking about Soul Train or something. Well, that's all they got on. Today, you got so many choices, and there's so much entertainment, so many better choices you can make, that it really is, I think, the consumer's fault that this is on, because they are feeding into it. If it wasn't making money, it wouldn't be on. And that goes for any of these shows that, white, black, whomever is watching trash, that what they consider to be, decadent material.
Right. But see, but the thing is that with the black community specifically, we've heard for many, many, many decades that white people programming is the problem. It is you guys who are putting out the music, the record labels get blamed, NBC gets blamed, it's CBS gets, Illuminati. For many, many years, it's been said over and over again, the white man is the issue. It's the white man. But now we have black network owners. Lamal Plummer sat on an interview and said, my company, not CBS, ABC, my company is about to be worth $1 billion. And all he has is Black women rolling around on the ground, punching each other, biting each other, pulling each other's wigs off. Okay. So is it powerism or racism? Is it powerism or racism? Because when Black people, I said this before, come into power, they're moving and shaking just like white people do.
I will always say this. It will always be class before race. Always, always, always. The whole race thing came from class, right? Like if you trace racism back, because the further back you trace it back, racism starts to dilute and you get more and more and more into class and you start realizing, oh, it's about fucking class, right? Yes,
Um,
racism exists, but trust me, it is always going to be class before race.
Oh, Lila, you
But
you hit.
isn't that being proven right now when we see the Black moguls rising? Isn't that being proved right now with the
Mm-hmm.
Lamont Plumbers, with the Mona Scott Youngs, with the Sean Youngs? Aren't we seeing that right now happen in real time and give it being the proof, tangible evidence that when people are in power, they're going to use the worst of a people? No, Jerry Springer, right? Lemuel Plummer. This is what people do. So are you gonna say that it's racism when it's Lemuel Plummer? That is this what is this?
No, I think Lily, you're so spot on when you say it was always about class in the beginning, because before there were Black people and white people,
That's
before
my
there were
cousin. I'm sorry.
well, before there before there was a such thing as Black people, before that was even a term, it was they had to make, like you said, they had to make a distinction between poor white people and Black people to make a hierarchy, right? So they invented the whole, like you're saying, classes invented race to to keep the lower class people down or whatever. But Jen, to what you're saying, I just think if you want to say that, yeah, there was time where people could have said that white people are feeding Black people the ratchetness, and you'd be correct, but that's just because that's what's going to sell in general. They're doing the same thing to I mean, some are doing the same thing with the trashy, like you said, the Jerry Springers and stuff, because what, it sells commercials, it makes people billions, and when it comes down to it, nobody's going, even if they had responsibility to a community, they're not going to pass up $1 billion industry. It's just not going to happen.
Correct. So hi cousin, welcome to the block. Your
how you
name,
doing?
what's your name, cousin?
My name is Paul. I'm new to this YouTube thing. I wanted to join in on the platform. I've been checking you guys out for a minute, and I was just waiting for the right topic and the right time that I
Ah,
had to hop on. So I'm glad to be on and get used to being able to speak on this platform. I'm very familiar with you, Jenny, and Levy, of course, my cousin, and this is a great platform. And um, about the topic, do I think that Black people are using Black people to build Black media empires? I think
mhm,
so. I think so in a sense. I think so in a sense because it's just like in the corporate America, when you work in the corporate field, a lot of times you a lot of times, I come from working at the Atlanta VA where I worked. There was most of the people that you worked over were uh, Black women in charge, and the people that were the higher ups, you barely seen. They might have been the white people, the Caucasian people, but you barely seen them. And most of the people that were over us were people of our color. Even no matter what sex they were people of our color, and a lot of them were a lot harder on us. The people of our color were harder on us than the people that were in that the big wigs that you barely even seen. And I feel like it's the same thing in the musical field. Like, with hip hop, you guys talked about hip hop. That's really a good example because when we grew up, hip hop was about lyricism and flow and storytelling. And now hip hop now is more about um, coming up with a good beat and coming up with a good instrumental that will catch on to people. And the lyrical content doesn't mean much at all. Like I listen to the radio now, and a lot of the songs I can't believe that this open for you know my nieces to listen to the music, and
Mhm.
a lot of the censorship of the songs, you know, half the song that's playing has to be censored. And so that shouldn't even be the main song, the main single. The main single should be a single that you don't have to censor a lot of the song. Is ridiculous, you know.
Mhm. Um, yeah, speaking of the music industry, I don't know if you guys heard, but Tamar Braxton, which is Tony Braxton's younger sister, was performing, and she invited to the stage a girl that's very, very popular on social media, specifically the Black blogs. Her name is Chrisean Rock. Chrisean Rock is infamous for fighting people and fighting her boyfriend. That is literally her brand. That is her brand. So Tamar Braxton, Tony Braxton's little sister, invited her on a show. It's in my opinion, that Tamar Braxton invited that girl for what people call clout, right? This girl is very popular in the blogs, very, very popular. So Tamar Braxton invited that girl up to her performance. The girl did not perform. She got upset that she did not perform. And when they were backstage, this girl, Chrisean Rock, physically attacked Tamar Braxton's background singer. And it was really bad. I mean, knocked his tooth out, black eyes, blood everywhere, because the girl wears four big gold rings with diamonds on it, right? That's like her signature look. And I was like, that's a weapon. That's like, I mean, growing up in the Bronx, we knew wearing rings
Mm-hmm.
in fights, that is what we did. And her rings are huge. And she's a strong girl. Okay. She's a bull. She's a bull in a china shop. She used to run track. Okay. She's an athlete. And she really just destroyed this man's face. But it goes to show again, yet again, here's a black woman, Tamar Braxton, using this girl as a ghetto mascot, twerking on stage with her, knowing what could happen, knowing that that girl is, you cannot control that girl. So, in my opinion, she was trying to get clout at the expense of someone she claimed she cared about, because that man didn't deserve to get beat up on like that. So he had to go to the dentist. They filed a police report. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. So Tamar got the attention she wanted, I guess.
So I'm gonna tell you what my issue was with that. Her trying to get clout was not an issue. If you're in this industry, you have to get clout. You have to, right? So the fact that people call people a clout chaser as a read, right, or a social climber as a read is stupid to me, right? Because the purpose in any field, corporate entertainment, is to climb the social ladder. All right. So let's not pretend that's not what the fuck we're here for. Let's not pretend that's not what we're doing tonight, right? You have to do it. So the fact that she tried to play in our face and do the whole, you know, I got to do the lie. You know, Krishan has been through a lot, and I just wanted to be a big sister to her. And the bitch already got five sisters. I just wanted to be a big sister to her, and you know, show her the way and be the light in her life, right? And give her a chance. And I'm like, out of all people that's out here trying to make it, that are talented, that's not knocking people out and not or who are not bulls in China shops, you choose her. You chose her because she does have more clout than you right now. Let's just keep it real. Yeah, Tamar, you have tons more talent than this girl, but she has more clout than you right now. So yes, okay, you like yes, it's custom to stop at every city and bring someone out as a surprise, but you chose her out of everybody else you could have chose because she has the clout. But it was foolish because she doesn't fit your brand. She doesn't fit your audience. First of all, if you saw the video, Tamar's in there with up on the stage with this beautiful gown, right,
Mm-hmm.
singing her heart out. And here's this drunk girl, you
Walking
know,
around ran
like
aimlessly on stage, just walking around. I was
like
like, what?
like she like she's lost over with the map, trying to look on her phone. Like, okay, do I go? Oh no, it's switching. It's going this way now. Okay, like
With that said, Lily, we do know that Tamar tries to ratchet it up. Even though she's not that girl, she's not from the hood, she tries to ratchet it up because I saw another scene where she had on some sneakers and a dress and she was flapping them jacks, twerking on stage alongside Chrisean. Okay, she was flapping
yeah.
them jacks, all right, alongside her. So I was like, oh, we're twerking now, Tamar. Is that, oh, we twerk. Okay. All right, sis. All right.
Tamar's been trying to cosplay ghetto for a minute. It's annoying because I've actually been a Tamar fan before people even knew who she was. Back in the day, one of my girlfriends bought Tamar's official first album, the one she don't even claim, out of the discount bin down to the Walmart. And
Mhm.
so she played it, and the album was phenomenal. It still holds up to this day. It's a beautiful album. And so that's
Mhm.
when I became a fan of Tamar's. She had a little short solo career back in the early 2000s, like literally the year 2000, and had a couple of videos. She did a couple of performances and interviews. If you go back and watch those interviews, she don't talk ghetto, right? She kind of almost gives you Valley Girls type of situation. It wasn't until years later when the whole ratchet movement started to become even more popular. And you notice and people becoming more rewarded for being ratchet. All of a sudden, everybody wants to be ghetto. Now, everybody wants to be ratchet. Now, all of a sudden, no one knows how to talk anymore. Like, that's what's going on. So we're going back to why is that, right? Because do we feel like we need to do that to build our empire? Can we build our empires as Black people without doing that in entertainment today in this year? How hard is it? It's yes, we can, but it's 100 times more hard.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like No Saint said, it's the path of less resistance to go that route as a Black person in this day, in this
Well,
climate.
and it's a lot faster. I mean, you cut your time, and I mean, these girls are, on the cover of Vogue in a year. Ice Spice did it in a year, literally 12 months. And she's now on
Wow.
the cover of Vogue. She's opposite Ben Affleck. She's on stage with Taylor Swift. She did it in a year, and all she had to do was bend over and touch herself. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's why people are going this route. So, Lily, going back to what you said, Tamar is extremely talented. She can sing. Nobody cares, right? Because you still have to have, I think, the it factor. You have to have that star power. You have to have that stage presence. I don't think she has any of that. I think she has a great voice. I think she'd be an amazing background singer. But whenever she's singing by herself, she just doesn't have that oomph, and that happens, right? And that's why you have artist development, which doesn't even exist anymore. So it's all on you. So are we going to see this thing where it's like not only are the media moguls using the ratchet to create empires, but are we also seeing the very talented people, okay, starting to go the ratchet route to get clout, to get fame, to get attention? Because we have a woman that's talented, and you bring Chrisean Rock on stage. I wouldn't want that woman anywhere near my friends or my family because I know one wrong thing is going to be said and it's going to be a melee. Why would you want that woman anywhere near your people? And then he got so damaged. I mean, that man got damaged. He can't even show his face.
It's crazy when you put it in perspective. Let's just say I had 1 million people watch me play chopsticks on a piano, and Elton John's going to bring me up on stage. It's laughable, right? But it's happening, like you're saying. That kind of it's crazy. The amount of access now that people that used to be irreproachable, like they weren't going to answer your email, they weren't going to talk to you in a chat. Now they're being kind of forced by the industry even to interact with people that they don't know. I mean, we all know that there are people out there that are psychopaths that have an obsession with stars that'll go up into their door and shoot them. And now they're being forced to pull people that they don't really know. They just know they have 1 million followers, and you know, it's bizarre. I don't know how long it's going to last. I hope it's not. I hope this is something that in 10 years from now is not around. We'll see.
I don't see an end to it. Lily, do you see an end to it? Is there going to be an end to it? How will this end? How will this end exactly?
I don't know. I go back and forth with this because it's now it seems like the new talent is how well you can gather, like get clout, how well you can get followers. That is the only talent that really matters, right? Hell or high water, how can you get those numbers up? How can you get those eyeballs on you? That's the only talent that really matters today. So part of me, I go back and forth, and I'm gonna tell you why I go back and forth with this. On one way, I say I don't see it ending because it's the path of less resistance for both parties, meaning the actual, I don't even want to call them artists, right? It's the path of less, or creatives or entertainers, path of less resistance for them and the executives because they don't have A&R and all of these things that they used to have back in the day. Like even now, I started being able to tell when like now they don't even have the makeup and the hair and you could tell these people are getting people other like well, I don't have to be able to tell. I'm in the industry. I know they were hiring me to do it, right? It wasn't back like I remember earlier in my career when I was doing makeup, right? PR will reach out to me, labels will reach out to me to do makeup for their people. Then I started noticing it started to shift where the actual entertainer was reaching out to me themselves, right? So those budgets started to go away. So it's less money for the executives and it's easier for the entertainers. Now, with that being said, things are suffering. Music is bullshit, right? Hip hop, it took 9 months this year for one song to go number one. We had no number one hip hop song for the first time since hip hop has gone number one, right? That was this year. So that happened. In addition to the charts, they're not selling records, they're not selling tickets. So many shows have been canceled this year. So the actual bottom line is being affected. So that's what's giving me hope. Even with the movies, people are complaining about that, the remakes. Did I send you that thing, Jen? That tripped me out. Remember when SAG announced that the strike was over last
Yes.
week, and I went to the comment section, and
Yes.
what those comments look like? I mean, it was full of "we don't give a fuck." Keep your horrible movies, keep your remakes. Like I thought people would be like, "Yay, we get our shows back." Nope.
Adam Hearn, you late. We discussed Dwight. I mean, I'm sorry. We discussed Will Smith and Dwayne Martin. We discussed that at the beginning. You missed it. Lily, going back to what you said, it's about before it used to be about the talented. Then it was about the talent was having no talent, the Kardashians, and now the talent is how fast can you get clout, right? I'm sure you guys heard there was a woman on a flight, a Delta flight, and she wanted to let the whole flight know that she was nominated for a Grammy. She's a gospel singer, and she wanted to sing on the flight. She got into a verbal fisticuffs with the flight attendant. I thought the flight attendant was great. I would have appreciated him because I want to get on my flight and I want to go from point A, point B. I don't care about your Grammy nomination. I don't want to hear you sing. I want to sit here with my headphones on, watch my movie, and get to where I'm going. I think people like that are disgusting. They're imposing, again, privilege to be able to do whatever you want to do, right? People, the thing with supremacy, and I use the word supremacy on the thumbnail specifically because the thing with supremacy and privilege is synonymous with white people. No, the fuck it's not, okay? You can have privilege and you can act like a supremacist and not be white. We're seeing it happen in real time. So this woman goes on the plane, long story short, creates a big funk with the flight attendant. Yahoo News, Orbs, YouTube.
I didn't know who she was.
Right. I had no idea. Now, now she's doing follow-up videos. Oh, thank you, everyone. I don't know who called Delta, but thank you. They apologized to me. Anyway, so my album is dropping, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So now that is how you get your name out. You go somewhere in the middle of somewhere, put somebody in a headlock or have an argument, and then it's instant.
That's what I was going to say. Like that's the shift that you're talking about is that there was there's a time where you'd go up and say, oh my God, it's so-and-so. And they don't want to be bothered. Right. Well, this is the opposite. She comes on wanting to get people with their cameras out and video. And so she could, if she does do what she wanted to do, it might go live, it might go viral. Oh, look, this woman, she's a grand, she sang on my plane. Or if it doesn't, it's still good publicity because she got all this publicity.
She had her own camera person, no Saint. She had her own camera person.
You know what?
Posted it. This just happened. But again, the outlets are picking it up. When you think about Business Insider, when you think about Yahoo News, The Guardian, these people are picking up these stories. These people used to be like journalists, like real news. Now it's some chick on the flight, and things happen on flights all the time. Now it makes front page. What is happening?
We are living in an upside down paradigm where celebrities are becoming the regular people and the regular people are becoming the celebrities. And it's like going back to what No Saint said. I just, as you all were talking, I was doing the the slippery slope in my head. I was going through the timeline of how we got here, and because it was something you said when you said it's like they were almost being forced to start interacting with the common folk, right? So it started with, hey, you got to get on social media too. I don't care if you sold 100 million records, you need to be on Instagram too. That's how it started, right? Then it went to not enough to just be on there and post every now and then. You have to post often. Yeah, you got to post often. Then it goes to, then they start seeing, hold on now, I'm Mariah Carey and I've got 14 million followers, but this Kim Kardashian bitch just showed her tits. She's got 24 million. Hold on, what else do I got to do? Yeah, Mariah, you're going to have to start interacting with your audience in the comment section, right? So then they had to come into the comment section with her. But then that still didn't work. Now the civilians are getting even more clout, right, than the regular people. I mean, than the celebrities. So then what do? Oh, you got to invite some of them to your shows, and you have to do videos with them and collaborate with them.
So to put in perspective what you're saying, Lily, Chrisean Rock, the girl that I just spoke about, whose brand is just fighting other women on the Zeus network, has 5 million Instagram followers. Janet Jackson has 7, and she just got there. Janet Jackson has 7 million followers. Chrisean Rock has 5 million and growing. Just to put into perspective what you're saying, all that celebrity shit, it's literally, we are watching Eat the Rich unfold. We're watching in real time. This is what's happening. You know, but going back to what's up, brother Ish, going back to our Black people using Black people to build media empires, is there going to come a time where we can like let go now of blaming white people for the way they put us out there in our images? Or can two things be true, or is it just about power at the end of the day?
I think at the end of the day, it's all about power, because it just depends on how you want to carry it. Because you can, like Lily said, you can do it the real way on the basis of talent, but that's very few and far between. It's the easier route is to go in the instant gratification route that we're living in now, where you basically have to be seen all the time. It's like you have to do something constantly to show people that you exist. Even if you're Mariah Carey or LeBron James, you have to do something to constantly remind people that you exist in some form or another. And even like what you were saying about the media, like a lot of these media outlets, they pick up any type of story just to make a headline, because we live in such a fast world where you have to create something or have something that is somewhat uh, newsworthy. Like you're grasping at straws for something that is newsworthy, so you can constantly have content to post something new for someone to click on, or else you won't be relevant if you're a journalist.
Sheesh. I mean, that's a great point. Lily, coming soon. Lily and I are gonna drop a video. I'll be pegging Lily because Lily, you're bottom.
Yes,
I'll
you're the
be
top.
you walking on us. You walking on us. I'm gonna be
Figure
pegging
it
Lily.
out.
We'll drop the video, and that's how it look. We gotta do what we gotta do. When in Rome.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. And then you call Haran and have it recorded, right? And then like have tell whatever. We're gonna make this work, right? Because we gotta get this money.
Your
We gotta get.
cousin, he's like, what's happening?
Oh no! Let me tell you, this is the cousin. Let me tell you. Let me. I'm about to spill the tea. This is the cousin that he watched the first episode of Sip, and he texted me like, "Cuz, I love you. I subscribed, but I was too grown for my ears." He said, "I'll be back for another episode." He said, "I'll watch you on the blog."
Oh my God. But it's like, that was such a great point because you constantly have to let people know, hey, you're here, because it's literally 24-hour cycles. And that's why this girl, Chrisean Rock, is so popular, because she has all the Black blogs. I mean, they post this girl consistently, continuously. I mean, this girl farts and they like, Chrisean Rock farted in the pool. Chrisean Rock hit this person. Chrisean Rock braided her hair. Chrisean Rock had a baby. Chrisean Rock was at Walmart with the baby. Like it's insane. Like, I just want my first million so I can flip it. I can't do this. I can't.
I'm gonna let them have it. Y'all can have it. I'm good.
Because you know why? Then you become a slave to the system, right?
Yep.
We all quit our corporate. A lot of us quit our corporate life for this entertainment thing because this was the dream, right? Because we didn't want to be tied down to the man. We didn't want to work 9 to 5. Or maybe that's just my story. I don't know. However, I did not leave that slavery system for this one, for having to constantly feed a machine that's always hungry and never full. That's what social media is. You got to constantly say, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Here's a reel. Here's another thing. Here's that. You know what I mean? So it's like, where does it end and who's really eating? I would say who's really eating is these motherfuckers right here. That is who's really eating, okay? The people at the top, and they are not white.
Yeah, let me, speaking on what you're talking about, it reminds me of a lot. It reminds me of Uber in the sense that when I was doing Uber, and I did it about 3 or 4 years, I was kind of late to the game, right? Where people were telling me how good the money used to be. And in my 4 years, I saw it from going to pretty decent to less and less and less. So with social media, you see these people doing they used to have the people doing the makeup, and they were making bank. And then what do they find out? The people on top find out, listen, these people are replaceable, because they're really, they may be somewhat talented, especially people doing makeup, but there are a million of them out there. and so that's why you're finding out, like, Jen, you were talking a long time ago about how people are like, some of these YouTube and Instagram models and stars are making bank and all that, which is true. But what I'm seeing more and more of now is I've seen people, we were kind of going over like, yeah, but they don't really have basic business sense or skills. Some of them, maybe most of them. And this is for right now. And now I'm seeing these stories of people that were making a couple of $100,000 and what they have to do. They had to get more and more extreme to keep the views, right? And then they said something that pissed some people off, and their sponsors pulled them, and they're making $20,000 a year and gonna lose their house. So that's what I think we're seeing, is that, like, this, I'm not familiar with this person that fights, but that's probably, that can last a while. But what you're finding out is that these things that are really hot, it changes in a second. And that's why I'm always saying that I think the real talented people are always going to have an advantage of some of these people that just are like I would call it a flash in a pan, viral. Go ahead, your mic.
You're absolutely right. We can always pivot. If you are an actual creator, an artist of any sort, makeup, music, film work, writer, you can always pivot. There'll always be a job for you, right? So these people come and go, and they make lots of money really fast. The problem is they don't know how to handle money. They have to keep up with the Joneses. So they got to get the Gucci and the Louis to show they got money, right? So it's a mess, and it's not sustainable. Chrisean Rock right now has an open case. I'm shocked she has not been arrested yet. There is a police report. I would say in the next couple of days, they're going to be knocking on her door. She did a lot of damage to that man. She's denying she did on a live video. There are lots of witnesses that were there. The police report has been filed. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of days she is going to be handcuffed. Why it hasn't happened yet, I do not know. Now, is Zeus Network going to cut the victim a check and try to keep their golden egg out of prison? I don't know. We shall see what happens, but I'm not going to be surprised to see her in handcuffs. But no, I agree with you, No Saint. I know that it's a fly by night situation, but these hoes is winning right now. They winning right now. So,
and that's the thing. They're winning and they're replaceable. They're easily replaceable. So it's like quick. Everything's quick. No one even thinks or cares about longevity anymore.
Yeah,
I think tell by how they move.
Yeah, I think to especially to Jenny's point, like we some trade in our 9 to 5 to make it as a content creator and go on these platforms, and it's like a trade-off. Like if you want to enter like this open door of creativity, because all of us, Lily is a very creative person, and Jenny, you're a very creative person. You guys have great opinions and things like that the whole world needs to hear. And I think, but in order for us to even be able to express our opinions and our creativity and display it to the world, we have to constantly do it in a repetitive manner. Like it's not like you're, let's say, Michael Jackson or somebody that can come out with an album and then you might not have seen him for about 5 years. You know what I mean? Then he comes out with an album. He didn't have to do that much leg work until it was time to go on tour. You know what I mean? But when you're doing it from a content creating perspective, you have to constantly do things to be in people's faces. You got to constantly come out with content. You have to constantly engage with people, because if you're not heard or seen, then it's on to the next person, unless you are really truly talented and are a true star. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know what, Paul, you really made me think of something. Like this shit is crazy, because back in the day, entertainers, right? It's always been a hard industry. Let me be really clear about that. It's always been extremely tough, but at least they had a reprieve in between projects. We don't get that anymore. We have to, unless we have to literally carve it out for ourselves. And it comes with this anxiety when we have to carve out mental health time for ourselves, like personal time for ourselves.
And not only that, Lily, when we come back, we have to move a hell in hot water to get back in the fucking race of the algorithm. Like we see it on the block. We take 2-3 days off. We come back, it's a fucking ghost town. Like the algorithm works for whoever stays in its face. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like what have you done for me lately? And lately could be 2 days ago.
Yep.
2
days ago. Doesn't matter. We don't know you. Next. Look at that podcast. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, I would dare say the business got tougher in a different way. It got tougher in a different way. And the people that are talented have had to reinvent, right, how we go about things and how we do things. That whole I'm a thespian. What is my motivation? I've been what nobody cares.
Jen, yeah, you're right. And like anything that had any disruptor that comes into any industry, it catches the people that are running the shit off guard, but they always figure out a way to get the reins over it again.
You sure the fuck do.
Yeah,
that's why the woman on the plane is now Yahoo News, on Yahoo fucking News. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so I mentioned cognitive dissonance earlier, and I was waiting for Exhibit A to show up, and it did. I knew it would. Okay, here we go. I love statements like this. Adam Hearn says, Jen, what was Marilyn Monroe's talent? These hoes have been here since Moses was a child. This is always the argument from the Black community to defend the Black degeneracy. Okay,
right. Because Adam, you black?
Because with that statement, right, it implies that it was exactly the same as it was today. Like everybody was walking around hoes. Everybody was walking around twerking. Everybody was walking around no talent. Everybody was walking around. You know what I'm saying? Like they act like they'll always throw in Little Kim. You know they love to do that. Well, Little Kim existed, and then there was Little Kim because Little Kim was there, and Little Kim, right? And I'm like, and who else? You know what I'm saying? Like, but except for today, it'll be hard to name someone who's not that and successful in this industry and are black. But they always want to do that, like, oh, there was this lady in 50s, she did it. So, and I'm like, yeah, but that wasn't the norm.
The reason why Marilyn Monroe was such a big deal to this day is because she was one of hundreds of actresses that was acting like that. One of hundreds, sir. That is why. Now everybody, we seen the girl yesterday. Loving you is easy because you. I didn't hear it like that from Minnie Riperton. What is going on here, right? So now everybody's doing that. But back then, we had never seen someone with the cojones to get in front of the world, sing for the president. Happy birthday.
Oh, my God.
It was unheard of. It was like, oh, she's up there fucking him via the microphone. We'd never seen anything like that. Now everybody's doing it. Now everybody's
Jen, you're so funny you said that, and probably people in your audience may not remember this name, but the people from those eras are memorable because of what you're saying. It wasn't common. Like Mae West. One of her lines, I think they said, we have 9 guys waiting for you back at the house. She said, make it 8. I'm really tired. I mean, that was back to like the 40s. But that was the 40s where women did not speak like that. So of course she's memorable. But like you're saying now, everybody and their mama is showing off, you know? So it's just okay.
And Kim Kardashian said she wanted to be the next Marilyn Monroe. Queen, I gotta disagree, mama. She said, I don't know if that was a question or a statement. You said Chrisean Rock is part of the white agenda. No, I think she's part of the black agenda, actually.
Right,
I think she's part of the black agenda.
Because this is all, because like when you look at it, the people who are putting the battery in her back is the black community. She's getting paid by the black community through the black executives. The white executives are not. She's chitlin circuit, right?
Yeah.
And going back to a point that you made earlier, no,
black famous until she attacks somebody white. Long as she keeps attacking black people, she will stay in the chitlin circuit. If they let her loose on somebody white, she'll be on Yahoo News and Forbes and all of that.
Exactly. So to your point, yes, this, before like cable and social media and everything like that, we only had a few options, and that was what we were stuck with. But now with all this options, we have TV, we have piracy. I don't know nothing about that. We got we got social media, we got all these options, right? With all of these options, what gets the most, views and watch time and things like that? So yes, that is going to make the advertisers, the white advertisers, come and advertise over there, because guess what? They want their coins too. They have no responsibility to the black community or anybody's community, right? And going back to what I always say, this country is a corporation. The purpose of a corporation is to maximize profit. It is never going to be about the people. Ever, never, ever. As long as it's a corporation. So these advertisers are corporations. They don't have a conscience. Mm-hmm. It's just what it is.
And I'm going to say something controversial. I really don't, I'm telling you, I don't see the racism as much as other people see it. What I see is capitalism. What I see is corporation. Unfortunately, black people are the easiest to bamboozle and easiest to move emotionally. So if you are a business person, I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, gray, or purple, and you're trying to make money, you're going to target the easiest demographic, the path of least resistance. What can I throw on Facebook that's going to have people arguing for 3 hours? I know. I'm going to say Facebook executives get together in the boardroom. I'm going to say, let's throw out a couple memes that say black skin, dark skinned women, black dark skinned women are better than light skinned women. Let's just throw a meme out there and let them argue amongst themselves for 3 hours. And then that'll spin us in the algorithm. And then we can sell more ad space. They're not going to do that with Latins. They're not going to do that with white people. Black people are the most easily triggered. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, remote control Negroes, right? So as we can see, it's not just a white thing because we have Shawnee O'Neal, Lamar Plummer, Mona Scott Young. She's also triggering who? Black people. And they are all Black. So it's really, who can I trigger the most? Who can I trigger who's going to get me paid? I know them Black people are emotional. They're sensitive about race. They're sensitive about gender. It looks like the Black men and the Black women hate each other. Let's target them so we can make a lot of money, right? It's the easiest thing. And everything on earth operates that way. Whether you're an alligator or a tiger, if the zebras are running, you're looking for the smallest, the weakest, and the one that can't fucking run. That is nature. That is nature. Everything does it. And when you're talking about money, path of least resistance, how can we get the most money? Who's the most vulnerable? Who are the ones that are going to be on this shit for 3 hours arguing? Who's the one that got the most time? Who's the one most sensitive about race? Get them, throw some shit out there on Facebook and Yahoo and let them argue for 3 hours. Welcome to America.
Eyeballs is currency. Eyeballs and attention is currency in today's world. Yep.
But again, stay tuned for our video. No Saint's gonna walk in on us. Harana will be playing guitar in the background. Let's get it popping. Just kidding, cousin.
I'm with whatever. I'm with whatever.
It's like, what's happening?
No, I'm with it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm with it. We got you. We'll take care of you. We promise. All right, guys. With that said, thank you so much for coming up tonight, cousin. Thank you, chat, for holding us down. Don't forget, you can cash at me on the block with Jen if you enjoyed this stream and you are catching the replay. We're going to keep it short and sweet tonight. There goes the cash app scrolling on the bottom. And catch us tomorrow. Don't forget Sisterhood Sips Sundays. Every Sunday, Lily and I will drop a new Sisterhood Sips episodes. Lots of girl talk. You want to be a fly on the wall for that one. And then I have On the Block with Jen one-on-one Monday nights, and we'll be live Monday nights as well. Thank you guys so much. Mucho amor. Good night. And